All right, guys, here's my second attempt at your notes for today. So we are going to go from vertex form, which is what we were doing yesterday, to standard form. So remember yesterday our vertex form was A times x minus h squared plus k. Nice thing about vertex form is we can pick out a vertex from it. We can find all of our transformations from it, which makes it real easy for graphing. But sometimes they want it in the expanded standard form, which is kind of like the polynomial form that we were doing before. It's not too hard to go from vertex form to standard form. This is our vertex form that we've got. To get to this expanded form, we just have to multiply out the x minus 2 squared. So remember, this is 2 times x minus 2 times x minus 2. That's what x minus 2 squared is. So I'm going to go back to using the box. If you're past the box and you can do this without a box, by all means, you don't have to use it. But if you still like the box, feel free to use it. So we got x times x gives me x squared. And then x times 2, or sorry, negative 2 would give me negative 2x. And then this x times this negative 2 would also give me negative 2x. And finally, negative times the negative is positive. 2 times 2 would be 4. So this is really 2 times everything that's in these boxes we add up to, if you remember. So we got x squared as our first term. Then we add up our diagonal. So negative 2x minus 2x would be negative 4x. And then you've got positive 4. So now we've expanded the square there. We still need to distribute this 2 to each of the terms. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times negative 4x is negative 8x. And last 2 times 4 is positive 8. So that's all you have to do to get it into expanded form. Not too hard, just to go from vertex to standard. All right, let's look at example number 2. Again, this is negative x minus 1 times x minus 1, and then we've got plus 4 out back. So in our box, put x minus 1, x minus 1. X times x is x squared. X times negative 1 is negative 1x. This x times this negative 1 is also negative x. And then negative times negative is positive. 1 times 1 is 1. So you still have your negative sign out here, but it's multiplied by everything in our box. So x squared, adding my diagonal, I've got negative x minus x is minus 2x. Last term is plus 1, and then plus 4. All right, our next step is to distribute this negative sign, so negative x squared. Then negative 2x, remember 2 negatives makes it a positive. And then negative times 1 is negative 1 plus 4. And then our final step, hopefully you can see you've got 2 like terms here that you're going to add together. So it's going to end up being minus x squared plus your 2x. And then combining our like terms, negative 1 plus 4, it's the same thing as 4 minus 1, which is plus 3. All right, one more example for you. We've got x minus 3 times x minus 3 with a minus 2 in the back. So in my box, I've got x minus 3 times x minus 3. For my first box, x times x is x squared. X times negative 3, negative 3x. The top x times the bottom negative 3 is also negative 3x. And negative times negative is positive. 3 times 3 is 9. So these guys are x squared. Negative 3 minus 3 would be negative 6x. and then plus 9, and then don't forget your minus 2 still up there. Our last step then is to combine our like terms. So we've got x squared stays the same, negative 6x stays the same, and then I've got 9 minus 2, that's plus 7. All right, so that's the new stuff that you're learning today. We're going to combine that with what we did yesterday and do this next problem. So we're going to start off doing the problem that we did yesterday, and then once we have the vertex form, we're going to put it into standard form. So here's my vertex, negative 3, 5. The other point on the parabola is 1, 13. So remember, your vertex is your h and your k, and your other point is x and y. All right, so putting it into vertex form, let me go ahead and give it to you. This is what you're going to see on your EOC formula sheet. So my y value is 13. We're trying to find a. My x value is 1 minus my h values. This is the tricky one. So minus 3 becomes positive 3. And then my k value is 5. So remember I said when you plug it in, it's always going to be the opposite for your x, the same for your y. All right, working inside our parentheses first. 1 plus 3 would be 4. So this is 13 is equal to a times 4 squared plus 5. Now we're going to deal with that 4 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. So this is 16a plus 5. We're trying to solve for a, so we want to get a by itself, which means I need to move this 5 over. It's positive 5, we'll do the opposite and subtract 5. So 13 minus 5 is 8. It's equal to 16a. And then our last step, remember, you're trying to get a by itself, so we're not going to divide by 8. We want to divide by whatever's in front of a, which is 16. Here it cancels off and I just have a. As I said, I've got 8 divided by 16, that would be 1/2. Once we've got our a, we can go back and write our vertex form. So remember, that's y is equal to the a, which is 1/2. And then I've got x minus h, which is negative 3. So x minus a minus 3 becomes positive 3 squared, and then plus 5. So that's the part we did yesterday. Now we're going to do the part that we're added on today. So y is equal to 1/2 x plus 3 times x plus 3 plus 5. Let's make some room here to make our box. So x times x is x squared. And then this x times 3 is 3x. And the top x times the bottom 3 is also 3x. And 3 times 3 is 9. So this becomes y is equal to 1/2. X squared is my first term. Adding to my diagonal, I've got 3x plus 3x, which is 6x. Last term is that 9. And then we got the plus 5. So here's where it gets a little fun. You've got your fractions. We're going to do a little fraction math. Stop growing. So 1/2 times x squared is 1/2 x squared. 1/2 times 6. Remember that's 6 divided by 2, which is 3x. And then 1/2 times 9 is 9/2. Feel free to use your calculator. You can convert it to a decimal if you would like to. Last step we have to do, though, is to add our like terms. So y is equal to 1/2 x squared plus 3x. And then 9/2 plus 5. That 5/2, remember, you're going to come up with a common denominator, which in this case is going to be 2. So to get from 1 to 2, I multiply by 2, I'm going to multiply my numerator by 2. So 5 times 2 would be 10. So 10 plus 9 would be 19.